everybody. Welcome into the Xfinity Preview Show. I'm Alex Weaver here with Marty Snyder from NBC Sports. Marty, Cole Custer, 5 wins of the year. He takes it at Kentucky.
He's still leading laps everywhere, mile-and-a-half racetracks. They've been phenomenal lately, and I think they've certainly set themselves apart as the championship favorites. And I think when you look at really the big three in the mile-and-a-half programs for everybody, at the beginning of the year was Tyler Reddick. He was the guy to beat at mile-and-a-half tracks. All of a sudden, Cole Custer has really stepped up to be that guy. Christopher Bell's gotten better, and I think all of a sudden Reddick's kind of third in the mix and looks and says, hey, we got to get better at these mile-and-a-halves. That was the last mile-and-a-half test before the playoffs, so I feel like they've got to get a little bit better on the two team. But yeah, Cole Custer and his race team, what they've been able to do, how they've improved, how Mike Shiplett has made Cole Custer a better driver. That to me is really the story in the Xfinity Series this year. Cole comes into the racetrack with a ton of confidence, and that's really been a big struggle for him over the years. So I think they're the team right now to beat for the championship. Now, having said that, okay, it's July. This is the tough part of the Xfinity Series schedule. We've got all the road courses coming up. They go on an incredible stretch of like 15 weeks in a row.
No off week until October.
No off weeks. And so I think this is the test for every Xfinity Series team. But if they can get through the road courses, and I know Cole's a little bit worried about them, they'll be okay. But I still think when you look at what's going to determine the championship, they are the best team right now at mile-and-a-half racetracks. And when you think about that, you think about Miami, and right now I think everybody feels like they have to catch up to the double zero.
Absolutely. Well, we are pretty sure that we have 3 of those teams that may be locked in for that championship 4, but is there anybody that can kind of knock on the door and beat the big 3?
Well, I tell you, the team and the guy I keep waiting on is Justin Allgaier. I mean, I think they're certainly the team that should be up there. They're the team that should be running up front with them. And they're just not. Sometimes there's speed that's missing. Sometimes they make mistakes. I mean, you saw a mistake this past weekend. And I just think there's little things that have really gotten them. Now, as we just mentioned, it's July, and we're coming up to the tough part of the schedule. And I love what Michael Annett told me this past weekend. This is the time of the year where he leans on Justin Allgaier, where he looks to him for advice. And that's where I think the 7 team usually shows they're a little bit better. The road courses are coming up. I think Justin will be very good at all the road courses. So I think there's time for the 7 team to turn it around. But they're the team that I keep waiting on to say, hey, are you going to contend with the big 3? And honestly, the team that's done that is his teammate Michael Annett. They've done a fantastic job. Top 5 at Chicago, top 5 this past weekend at Kentucky as well. So I think Michael Annett really has been the guy that surprised me. But I keep waiting for Justin Allgaier to say, hey, okay, we're the 4th, we're going to make it the big 4.
Yeah, they're locked in and loaded, but we're heading to New Hampshire Motor Speedway this weekend. So what can we expect there? I know it's going to be a hot one.
Yeah, it's going to be hot. And on Saturday, they're calling for temperatures around 99 degrees. So that's going to be tough for the Xfinity Series drivers. It's a short race, so that certainly plays to their benefit, but it's going to be warm. I think the other thing we're going to look for this weekend is it's very difficult to pass. So qualifying is going to be huge. Track position is going to be huge. You're going to hear that word. That's going to be the drinking game of the weekend. Track position. Every time you hear it, right? So I think we're going to hear that a lot this weekend. And there's not a lot of chances to adjust on your car. I think that's a big thing that's kind of lost in this, is that you've got to be right from the beginning of the race. This race last year, Christopher Bell was able to beat Brad Keselowski, and I think you're going to see Christopher Bell run well this weekend as well, because I feel like when you look at the big 3, they've had the best short track program. So I think they're going to be the team to beat this weekend. But I think it's going to be hot. There's going to be a lot of things to overcome. And again, track position is going to be huge.
All right, Marty, you might have foreshadowed your pick. Jonathan Merriman and I, we have basically 3 to choose from every week, and we can't get it right.
Well, no, I'm telling you, you could pick Justin Allgaier this weekend because he's very good at New Hampshire. But I'm going to go with Christopher Bell this weekend. I think he's just so good. I think when you look at really all the teams in the Xfinity Series, they've had the best short track program overall this year. And I don't think they're going to step down from that. So I think Christopher Bell is going to be the guy to beat this weekend.
All right, 20 car for you. I think Marty can predict the future. I'm going to go with the 7 camp. Justin Allgaier is going to get the win this weekend. He needs it.
I don't know if I can predict the future, but I think eventually they're going to turn things around in the 7 camp, and they're going to get things pointed in the right direction.
All right, well, we are racing at New Hampshire Motor Speedway in the Xfinity Series. Saturday, it's going to be a hot race, but make sure you tune in to see who gets that one. Coming to you on NBCSN at 4 p.m. Marty, thank you for being here. We'll see you guys next week.